thing you said that struck my mind is how good relations and the work that communities are doing is now becoming more normal. It's not the exception. It's not an isolated group. It shouldn't just be one department. I think we need to mainstream all the efforts in terms of good relations across the government system, across the communities and across the private sector. It's a big challenge, but I think we've come so far in 30 years that we're now ready to bring it and mainstream it across the system. So thank you, May, for your comments.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to introduce Gareth Johnson. Gareth is the Deputy Secretary in the Executive Office. Gareth, delighted that you can be with us here today, and I'd like to invite you to say a few words and then announce the winners of the highly commendable awards.
I'm delighted to be here and marking the Community Relations Council Good Relations Awards for 2022 and to celebrate all the successes over the past year. And I hope it's a demonstration of kind of partnership between the department and the council, and indeed all of our sponsored bodies, a partnership that, as colleagues will know, we are very keen to see grow. We've been inviting the council and our other sponsored bodies to input to our business planning processes for the year to come, and hoping that will be an ongoing engagement about how we can work together to secure better outcomes. CRC, of course, does a great job in bringing us all together through the shared learning forums and engagement forums. And I think it's important that we take time out for events such as this to truly recognise and reflect on the efforts made by everyone over the past 12 months and beyond. Been a challenging 12 months with the continued challenge of COVID. Of course, we can't know for certain, but hopefully we are over the worst and we can be starting to get back to some form of normal life again. But what I do know is that over the last couple of years, and indeed far beyond, the recipients of today's awards have gone above and beyond in their efforts to make sure that people continue to have access to the vital services that they offer. I just wanted to touch on something in terms of policy, because I know the second half of this afternoon is looking at the TBUC strategy, the Together Building United Communities strategy, and starting to think together about what might be the next iteration of that strategy. And you'll know that the strategy outlines a vision of united communities strengthened by its diversity, where everyone can live and work free from prejudice, hate and intolerance. Very wide-ranging strategy. It's aimed at addressing a number of long-standing issues, and within it we see a focus on children and youth, a focus on creating shared and safe space, and a focus on ensuring that cultural expression is celebrated. CRC is a key delivery partner. The work that the council does and the work that you all do contributes to the achievement of the strategy's aims and to the development of solutions to local good relations issues. We really have made significant progress working with CRC, with councils, with the community sector, with those in wider government. And it's a priority for me personally that we continue to build on strengthening those relationships. Shared learning forums, one way of doing that, but lots of other ways as well. You'll hear later, as I've said, about the recently started review of TBUC. I'd encourage everyone to contribute your views during that engagement process. It's really vital for us to hear feedback on the positive aspects of the strategy, on how it has helped, but also on the challenges that you're facing in delivery, on the areas that maybe we've only just started to scratch the surface of, that we need to focus on, so that as policymakers we can ensure that there is an effective environment for ongoing delivery to take place in. I am not looking for a strategy that covers 40 different things that people are already doing. I would like to be able to narrow things down to the key areas where we can really add value and make a difference. What would be the half dozen things that if we did them between now and 2025, whatever, that would really make a difference to community relations and community cohesion. So very interested in your views and in your contributions to that strategy. There are too many situations. I mean, when I talk about partnership, there are too many situations where a lack of a joined up approach has either created problems or has meant that we haven't achieved what we could have achieved. I was in the Cregan last week. And I mean, there's brilliant stuff has been done through the community forum there. But, hearing about things that a particular government department had done or a decision that had been made, probably for the best reasons from its own perspective, but how that impacted on wider issues and just the difficulties that the community was having in joining things up between different departments. So that's absolutely part of what we want to look at in the strategy. As Martin says, the mainstreaming good relations so that it becomes part of the focus of all our departments and public bodies. The strategy has an outcomes focus, and that's something that we can already see in the impact of your work. We can quantify the difference that projects are making to people's lives. We can see evidence of the positive change that the programme is making to people here. And that difference is what I want to focus on as we come to celebrate these awards. It's very easy to keep delivering for your communities and running between events and Zooms and responding to all the needs that are being raised. Very easy to do that without taking a step back and just recognizing your success and your impact. So this event is all about creating a little bit of time and space to acknowledge the excellent peace building work that is developed and delivered here. It includes promoting trust and independence, challenging sectarianism, racism and violence, supporting intercultural relations, maybe more important now than ever, within our increasingly diverse society, working together as well as individually. And since 2006, these awards have highlighted the exceptional achievement in promoting community relations. The previous award winners have come from all parts of the region and have worked in a variety of different settings. And it was great to hear from May just how the recognition that the award made had played out, and your perspective as well, May, on good relations. What's most significant for me in this is that this hasn't been some committee of inviting people to write things in, and then you kind of judge it on the basis of who's written the best essay. The people who have been nominated for these awards have been nominated by your peers within your communities. And that's just worth pausing to think about, because so often it's peers within the communities who are in the best position to see where the differences are really being made and where the value is really being added. So that's central to all of these. And everybody who has been nominated can take pride in the fact of their nomination for that reason. So without further delay, Martin, if it's in order, I'll go on to announce the highly commended award winners first. And then I know that you are going to say something about the overall winner. We're doing these highly commended awards in alphabetical order, as is the tradition. And so I want to announce the first. The recipient of this award set up the Ethnic Minority Sports Organisation, NI, to strengthen shared, sustainable and sporty society. He's been able to demonstrate that interculturalism, good relations, community relations can be promoted through sports. He's shown great leadership in dealing with the constraints of managing difficult conversations around how the ethnic community can fully integrate with the Indigenous community here by using the medium of sport. Just yesterday at the City of Sanctuary conference, the word belonging was coming out as a really key word, and this winner has really helped people's belonging as part of a diverse community. The impact he's had on that community has been immense through his dedication and his skills in running sporting events and facilitating conversations through workshops to educate wider community on interculturalism. And it was great a few weeks ago to be present at the City Hall when Msoni's latest report was launched, to hear, frankly, about some of the difficulties and let's not beat about the bush institutional racism that had been encountered, but also to hear directly from and to meet some of the young people who have found their place, found their belonging in our community through the work that our winner has done. And the winner is... The next award winner, I am definitely not going to be giving a slap to, because it's a person who has progressed through Monkstown Boxing Club over a number of years, where his commitment and passion for community relations work has grown and developed. He's driven the delivery of a young men's programme focused on good relations issues and on building meaningful relationships with young people. Worked hard to support the building of relationships between young people from different areas and community backgrounds, creating a safe environment for learning and exchange. And I was in North Belfast a couple of months ago seeing another boxing club. And what struck me was that a lot of what the club did actually had very little to do with boxing, though that was important. And there were some superstars of the future coming through, but had everything to do with getting a better future for the young people who were coming through it. And it taught me something about the hours that folk who are involved in boxing clubs are spending on young people's personal needs, the challenges that they're facing, and indeed the risks that they're facing in the community. So our award winner sought out and secured Good Relations grant aid from Antrim and Newtownabbey Borough Council's Good Relations programme to deliver the programme over consecutive years, building on it as it develops and creates a legacy for those who participate. The evidence of the programme and its benefits was clear through the reporting mechanisms, but in many ways the strongest evidence was coming through the human stories, through hearing from the young men who participated in the programme at the end of the programme's celebration event. Young people shared their journey through the Young Men's programme, telling of its impact, and central to this was the relationship between young people and the award winner. And the winner is...
No, thanks very much, Gareth, for the award, and really honoured to be, nominated for it. Obviously, coming up through programs like it myself, it's a passion of mine to sort of give back to young people I work with now. Do you think that obviously trying to break barriers and change perceptions, but the young people and the staff behind me is incredible. And a big thanks to Antrim and Newtownabbey for obviously continuing to fund us throughout it. we've came a long way, and got great relationships with our partners, and there's a lot more work to be done. So thank you very much for the award, and look forward to creating a better future for all.
Well done, Darryl, and thank you for all that you've brought to that project. The next award is presented to someone who is the manager of TAMI, Acting Awareness of Mental Health Issues. As a member of the Girdwood Community Hub, a purpose-built peace and reconciliation centre in North Belfast, bordering 4 communities and located on an interface. I was in Girdwood yesterday, and in the course of the morning there, had to pop into one of the side rooms to have an online meeting, as it happens, Sue Gray, the famous Sue Gray. And in the course of that, somebody mentioned something about peace building. And I said, well, it's funny you should mention that, because I'm sitting here in Girdwood that used to be an army barracks and is now a centre for peace and reconciliation and for the whole community, some of the things that they've done. So it was just a very nice little illustration of the significance of facilities like Girdwood. Since 2015, our award winner has led on the development of shared space project as a member of the Shared Space Committee, and has worked tirelessly to facilitate a good relations and mental health football programme, bringing together literally thousands of participants and their families in Girdwood. He's worked to facilitate a positive relationship between the clubs, between coaches, between members, real sense of excitement for them in going to the centre where they benefit from a programme that champions positive mental health. Through the enrichment programme each year, he supports young people from Belfast Royal Academy and St Malachy's College in qualifications and creates opportunities for them to deliver good relations and mental health-based games to their peers in their own schools and local primary schools. Since 2015, there have been 6,222 unique engagements taking place in Girdwood. And the winner is... Next, I'd like to present a highly commended award to someone who's worked tirelessly every year since 1995 on the Ulster Project. It offers leadership training in conflict resolution with the goal of empowering teenagers to oppose discrimination of any kind. As the joint chairperson, she coordinates the work involved with selecting participants, with safeguarding, organising meetings where the teenagers explore their understanding of flags, emblems, identities, assists them in raising funds, making travel plans for a month's residential stay in the United States, and coordinating all the arrangements between parents, the American host cities, and the committee here. It's a time-consuming role, and yet this lady is always on call, and over 2,800 teens, 290 leaders have benefited from the programme, returning from America, making a difference in their communities. And what's striking for me about this programme is the people involved in community work, in youth work you talk to, who you ask about their stories, you ask about how they get involved, and they start by saying, well, I was in the States on the Ulster programme, and just the impact that the Ulster Project has made even years on. So the winner is...
Thank you very much. I am delighted on behalf of Ulster Project. This is something that we have lived, breathed and eaten since our conception, and all our volunteers, it is a voluntary run organisation, and Thank you very much. I'm delighted.
Thank you. It's volunteer run, Irene. Please take that message to your volunteers, but please also just take a bit of time to celebrate your own contribution to all the success. Many congratulations and thank you. The next award winner is a medical consultant and clinical lead in the Northern Health and Social Care Trust, where he was integral to the development of an organisational ethnic diversity network. In his role as chair of the network, he supports the Trust's health, wellbeing and inclusion strategy, makes an invaluable contribution to the ongoing EDI work within the Trust, promoting good relationships. I've seen within the civil service and in other organisations just the real difference that these networks make to visibility, to colleagues' awareness of the challenges for people from different backgrounds, and to inclusion within the organisation. A really vital contribution that people with the lived experience sometimes can make in the ways that the rest of us might struggle. This winner has worked in partnership with ethnic minority communities and voluntary groups to deliver inspiring health seminars entitled Brighter Days Ahead. And if ever there was a slogan for the last couple of years, I think that was it. His positive attitude has built trust among colleagues, empowering them to share their experiences and knowledge. Through his leadership, he has developed an environment where differing ideas, backgrounds and needs are fostered and valued. And that's really important in the health service as everywhere else, that we hear people who want to speak up and who have something to say, even though they're concerned that they mightn't be the ones in leadership and with this idea, this culture, that differing ideas, backgrounds, needs are fostered and are valued. Not only has he set that tone, he's made sure that policy has been changed, and he's worked tirelessly to bring the voices of ethnic minority staff to trust decision making. And so the winner is...
Thank you very much, everybody, for the awards. It means a lot. I'm also very much grateful to our Chief Executive, Mrs. Jennifer Welch, who has shown the leadership to provide this sense of equality, diversity, and inclusiveness at workplace. And I humbly accept this award on behalf of the whole Ethnic Diversity Task Group, who have helped support and nurture these aspects to provide a safe and inclusive workplace. Thank you very much.
The next award, the penultimate of the highly commended awards, recognises a person who's been a catalyst for promoting good relations in Antrim and Randalstown, in that area, for many years. He's now the chair of Moving Forward Together, partnership of 20 schools, representative of all types, Catholic, maintained, controlled, integrated, special, both primary and secondary, as well as all ability and grammar. And that unique partnership has strengthened community cohesion in the local area, not only through the school-linked collaboration, but also with parents and into the wider community. His leadership has been instrumental in leading this group into a formal collaboration with many shared community events. There is a Moving Forward Together choir. There are fun runs, area activities, parental support for well-being and mental health, shared training for all pupils on peer mediation, to name a few. His vision to build it and they will come has facilitated an open and inclusive collaboration to reach the shared goals of good community relations for the benefit of all in Antrim and Randalstown. And the winner is...
I hope to. I've got two cheerleaders behind me here from school, so this is great because we're just about to finish for the day. But massive thanks to for Community Relations and Schools for the nomination, and also to my own school and school colleagues for supporting me in what we've done up to this point in time, and also all the colleagues and partners in Antrim and Randallstown. So we're trying to build a community of good relations and collaboration. So thank you very much for this. This is very acknowledging and empowering. Thank you.
Philip, thank you. And let's see how we can learn from what you've done for the work in other areas right across Northern Ireland. The last highly commended award goes to someone who has played a key role working in community relations for over 30 years. He began his career in community relations with the Short Strand Community Forum and later became strategic director of the Belfast Interface Project, where he's now been in post for 12 years. He was a seminal member in the foundation of the North Belfast Conflict Transformation Programme and has been committed to conflict resolution, transformation, peace building work across the city and regionally, with specific attention to interface communities and the development of projects that would benefit communities in accessing digital and technical processes. He's been an advocate of peace-building work both here and at international level. We'll see later on in the afternoon in the review of T-Book, we are keen to be learning from both those local and international examples of good practice. And of course, we have something locally that we can share and should share internationally about what we've learned and have achieved. So, passionate advocate representing the peace process and community initiatives in his former capacity as an elected representative to Belfast City Council and as Deputy Mayor. And the winner is...
Listen, it's a great honour to be involved with all those nominated today. I see this award not just as a personal achievement, but as a collective achievement for Belfast Interface Project, the staff, the board, the membership, but most importantly, all of those community organisations and all of those people who work every day to move us forward as a society and continue to build forward on the peace process. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe, and many congratulations again. Martin, let me hold the handover back to you to announce the overall winner.
Okay, Gareth, thank you for that walkthrough of all the highly commended winners. I think what you managed to do is to bring their story to life. I think sometimes if you don't get that outline as to where they came from, what the background is, you really start to get a feel for the person. And one of the comments you made earlier about, partnership is absolutely at the key. And you can see in all these nominees, they worked in partnership within the local community. And you also referenced, you were looking for possibly six things that we could pull together in the review of T-Book. I think partnership has to be up front and centre. We only can do the job we do because we partner with TEO and all the other delivery agents, because we partner with the communities. That's really at the centre of what we all do. So without further ado, we'll now move to the overall winner. The 22 Good Relations Award winner is an historian, a broadcaster and an Irish news columnist. He's a member of the Taoiseach's Expert Advisory Group on Commemorations and a noted author on modern Irish history. His knowledge and understanding of Irish history, and particularly the Home Rule crisis, is the widest context and is considered, if I can say this word, encyclopedic by all his peers. He brought that knowledge to bear when he became involved right from the early days with the Decade of Centenary's work at CRC and the National Lottery Heritage Fund. Since then, he has become synonymous with the project and been integral in breathing life into the principles for remembering in public space. He's been an active member of the Decade of Centenaries Roundtable Group. He has supported organisations across the region to develop their ideas and learn about history that has shaped us all. He conceptualised the phrase used in one of the Decade conferences as remembering the future. Previously, he was head of lifelong learning at Stranmillis College. During his time, he pioneered combining modern history and adult learning by collaborating with people from diverse backgrounds, guiding, challenging and supporting participants through site visits in Belfast and Dublin to broaden their understanding of the events that have shaped this entire island. He's worked tirelessly during his lifetime to build a public understanding of Irish history and to communicate this through lectures, TV programmes, radio and podcast interviews and study visits. And the winner is
Listen, I'm absolutely honoured to receive this award. I had no idea I was being nominated. I never think of these things. When I started in the 1980s, responding to requests from historical societies, and then with the Decade of Centenaries, I worked for the CRC and Heritage Lottery and the initial lectures, councils, libraries, museums, community groups, right across society. I suppose I've been everywhere in every community, from East Belfast to West Belfast to West Tyrone to South Armagh to North Antrim. There are very few places, I must say, I haven't been, and I tried not to decline any invitations to talk about the political misfits, our conflicted history, our shared history, all aspects of the history. And if I've shed some light, I'm delighted, but I'm very conscious that I've been selected from a whole raft of people, many of whom I know, who have been working assiduously on the ground in their communities, cross-community, for decades, really, and a number of whom have been honoured today. And I'm very, very, it's been an absolute honour, and certainly an award that I will treasure. Thank you very much indeed, Martin, and the Community Relations Council Board.
Thank you, Eamon. We hope you enjoy the award, along with all our other recipients of the highly commended awards. We hope the awards give a little bit of hope to you all and the organisations that you work with. So I just would like to say well done to everyone. Just a few final remarks as we close this section of today's event. The 2022 awards winners and nominees have demonstrated excellence in community relations themes across everyday life. For example, from sport to education, young people, heritage, and physical and mental health. The work our winners do also encompass the key TBUC themes of shared space, safe community, children and young people, and cultural expression. So thanks again to all our winners. You've all made an amazing contribution to peace building and good relations, and we are glad that we are able to present these awards to you as a way to recognise your substantial contributions. Thanks to all those who submitted a nomination. Thanks to everyone who came along today, particularly colleagues in the Executive Office and also our CRC panel who made the awards, and a particular thank you to Susan Nicholson, TO, who was our independent member on the panel this year. So that concludes the awards presentation.